You state your name and address for the record, and you have up to 5 minutes.
Thank you. Lynn Schnider, 2742 Behringer Station Lane, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37932. Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I stand before you tonight because I'm overburdened by what I see daily in our school system. I love the school and I love the community where I teach, but the system is so flawed that I can no longer be silent. With so many facets to the problems that we're facing, I will focus on the specific matter that literally makes my stomach hurt and will undoubtedly cause me to leave the profession that 13 and a half years ago I was so excited to join. I simply cannot continue to dishearten my students by forcing them to learn skills that they are not developmentally ready to learn simply because it will be on the test. I won't dwell today on the absurdity of the TVOS system itself, but I will attempt to convey the havoc that it wreaks on my students' morale. At a required in-service a few years ago, TVOS was very simplistically described as a track. Every runner should make one full lap every year. We were told that the runners are staggered on the track. They don't have the same starting point, so their finish lines are different too. This explanation, I believe, was meant to alleviate our concerns. In theory, the level on which a student comes to you should not affect their gain as calculated by TVOS because all those varying ability levels are taken into consideration. My question, however, is this. How many tracks can one test? If a student who begins on the second grade level makes it all the way around the track, he will be on the third grade level. Will the fifth grade test show that? I've been told that's why you teach the fifth grade curriculum. Every child has to take the same test, so they must be taught the same way. Does that really make sense to anyone? Is it fair to ask our children to sprint around the track when they haven't successfully walked it yet? Unless you have spent time, real time, in the classroom, you haven't seen the faces of students who are discouraged and frustrated because they are being asked to divide decimals when they haven't even mastered addition, subtraction, or multiplication. It's heartbreaking. And sometimes the discouraged faces are the teachers, because we have been told time and time again that if we were good teachers, all of our students, regardless of their prior experiences, home lives, abilities, regardless of anything and everything, our students would learn the entire 40-page curriculum in the time allotted on the pacing guide. As educators, we know that's simply not true. We know that students are all different, and we have to teach them according to their abilities. We know it's not our fault that we're not allowed to do that. This doesn't stop us from feeling like failures, because we have not been able to achieve the impossible task set before us. We're demoralized, and it's almost become unbearable. And what's worse than teachers feeling demoralized is that many of our students feel the same way. What must it be like to sit in a classroom day after day where your needs are less important than the curriculum that must be delivered? Well, if those faces are any indicator, they feel hopeless. That doesn't sound much like education excellence for all children to me. So the question tonight is this: do we travel the same path for yet another year? Its doctrine began long before the current administration became involved with Knox County. Has hit an all-time high, and the atmospheres of reason have been ignored, and we have been subjected to a plethora of rhetoric. It is only in the last couple of months that this administration has expressed you do hold the power. I suspect that most of these board members will do what you want them to do. Schools. Tell them that you have confidence that you can earn the right to have your contract extended. Ask them to delay the extension of your contract until you can provide the evidence to justify it. Thank you.
Joan Grimm, then Bob Savory.